Today we are back roasting even more Airsoft loadouts submitted by you, the viewers, onto the BB Warrior Discord server. Seems like you guys have really been enjoying these, so let's get into making fun of even more Airsoft kits. So again, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get better at pronouncing Discord names, I promise. Has their kit, and I think that we need to focus on what they've got in their house. So just taking a look, I appreciate that you work out, and I was gonna sit here and make a bunch of jokes about the stuff in the background because of your caption. We need to talk about the knee pads. My guy, I want you to Google cry precision pants. Something screwy here. I don't want to say what it is. I want you to Google it and figure it out on your own. Maybe this is a joke loadout, but as we look at the rest of it, I am unfortunately left with more questions than answers. First and foremost, I see the shotgun shells, but as we look at other pictures, it's a vector. I don't see a shotgun anywhere. I don't think I even see vector mags on here, like on the kit itself. This one's just, it's an oddball. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this dump pouch. I'm a fan of putting the dump pouch in the front of my kit. I'm going to do a video on it soon because it's becoming a more popular trend. But with that dump pouch in particular, the cheapo trifold one, that's going to hurt you. That is going to flop, and if that's a gas vector with the heavy mags, you're going to have a bad time. So I would consider putting that like on your cummerbund or something, or getting something that actually mounts like with Velcro underneath the front flap of your plate carrier. Sword makes them. You can buy them in America from OP Tactical. I think Warrior Assault System makes something similar. Or just get a dump pouch that's made out of something lighter, like the HSGI Magnet is also pretty comfortable to have in the front. But this is, I think you got a little bit of work to do, but you could have something good for an indoor field here. Rusty has his Marine Force Recon impression, which makes me feel some things. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. It mainly makes me feel old, because he says, you don't see too many of these anymore, but when I first started seriously getting into Airsoft and getting into buying kit, not just running around in a hoodie in my backyard, this was the fit back then. Like, before the JPC came out, before multicam cries were available, stuff like this was popular. You were seeing people with like MBAVs and MBSSs and RRVs running around, the low cut helmets as well, classic M4. This just makes me sad because the drip is immaculate, especially with that M45, which a lot of you are still mad at me for torturing mine in the mud test. It's a cool pistol, still works. But, this is just a bygone era of way bulkier, but also very cool and unique gear that definitely had an aesthetic to it that was unique. It wasn't just everybody was in multicam. People could have impressions and still look different. And this was also back at a time where getting like Marpat Frog uniforms weren't ungodly expensive for what they were. So I absolutely love this. This made me nostalgic, but this also made me kind of sad. Amity is submitting his basic NATO loadout, which, I mean, if you look at this, yeah, I think basic's a good word. Like, my guy is the default character when you're playing as, like, the US faction in a video game, like Insurgency Sandstorm or something like that. But I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with this kit. I think there's a place for it. Like, this wouldn't look out of place for NATO at, like, a Milsim West. And as we take a look at some of the equipment, like, it's all good choices. It's just all kind of, nothing super exciting going on. We've got a JPC, an Ops Core, an MLOC M4, and as we take a look at the full kit, like, it all looks like it should go together, but yeah, I think he summed it up best. This is just a little generic. I'm not really sure how to spice it up though. Maybe a different uniform top, but if those are real cries, those are nice uniforms. So yeah, I think basic is just a good way to express this. One thing we haven't seen is the back panel. I'm curious what he has on the back of the JPC, or if it's just blank, but it's not bad in any way, just not original either. I just want to let you all know that I love you, so I'm not running the air conditioner right now so that it doesn't kill the audio quality on this video, but my God, it is a million degrees in my apartment right now. But let's take a look at our next loadout, which comes from Spartacus, which he says is a rather generic MVD kit, which, again, I feel like the theme of this episode has been old school kit. I love this. It is generic in the sense that it's a pretty basic impression, but it's got that flavor. It adds a little something to the game. You're not the dude in multicam running around. So like, with the basic Gorka, Smersh, 6B, whatever harness, I think this is sick. It is a pretty basic impression, but I think this is awesome. We just don't see a lot of Russian kit like this anymore, so I absolutely love this. This is a great job. And we have a submission from Halen Chan, which I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, who is a channel member of their US 1st Infantry Division kit. This looks like it is something I'm judging by the M16 and the quality of the photo to be Vietnam era. And you know, I don't know a ton about Vietnam kit, but as I've started to delve into older stuff, I feel like it's kind of hard to use this sort of thing at dedicated events, at least here in the United States or in my neck of the woods. I feel like there's not a good Vietnam themed event that has a lot of information out there. Like I know there are a couple out there, but every time I try to learn about them, it either seems like super hard to get into because you need like correct socks and boots and things like that, which I get if you're trying to do, you know, something that is realistic of what would have been experienced, you know, 50 years ago now. But you know, I think it's super cool, but it's one of those things that I just kind of appreciate from afar. I would like to get into it someday maybe, but I just don't know if I'm going to spend all that money, where am I actually going to be able to use it versus just being the guy that sticks out at an airsoft game. So to the member who submitted this, you know, I think it's cool, but like, how do you use this? If you're watching the video, please leave a comment down below. And I do just want to take a moment to thank our channel members who make videos like this possible. If it wasn't for their support, the BB Warrior simply would not exist. Being able to make these videos and take time to go off to events just takes, you know, a lot of time, and unfortunately it takes a lot of resources as well. So their help every month allows me to continue to do this for almost 10 years, I will add. We are coming up on the 10-year anniversary of this channel, which is crazy to me. If you want to become a member, it comes with some really great perks. Not only do you get a guaranteed spot in these Roast My Kit videos, but you also get to watch them and all the other videos that I post early. Along with that, there's some other great perks, Discord integration as well. So if you're interested in helping support the BB Warrior and what we do here, there is a link down in the description below. Or if you are on your computer, you can hit the join button right next to my username. But let's get right back into roasting more loadouts. And again, we've got even more Russian kit. We've got Fred and Slavics kits, which, you know, I'm starting to love kind of the mix match, like as stuff gets updated in Ukraine, to seeing like what's coming out of it. And these kits are super cool. I love that it's kind of that mix of some of the older Ratnik stuff with some newer high speed, like the ATACs type things. And this just looks super cool. You know, I always got to give props to people who are willing to go the entire way to do an infantry style impression, but you know, these are just awesome. I am a huge fan of the PKM. I think in terms of airsoft, it is the best machine gun out there because of just how easy they are to work on. And Slavic actually added some of his own, and again, just PKM, super, super hot. They're kind of a pain to run around with, like they're heavy, but they are definitely worth it, and this is just super cool kits. So we've been doing some old school kits. Now we're going really old school with the Average Cider Drinkers World War II Royal Artillery Kit. And you know, I gotta say, kind of like a lot of these historical kits, I'm not super well versed in them. So if this is FARB, tell me in the comments. I just think it's neat. I've said that a lot today. But you know, I love a good, like if you're gonna commit to the bit, and one, he's got the bayonet on there, which please don't bring that to an airsoft game. But you know, this just looks neat. I don't know what type of game you'd use it at. You'd stick out like a sore thumb for sure at most of them, but I just think that everything with the Enfield as well, this is a super cool kit, and I gotta give you props for putting all this together. Op4 Airsoft, who I think has been featured before, has a really cool loadout for us, as the name implies, for Op4. I believe this is Chinese PLA kit, and I have no idea what any of this is, full disclosure. It just looks super neat. I think that what we need a lot more of in airsoft is kind of unique kits, like, you know, Russian kit is the big fad right now, but seeing other foreign impressions, I get why they're not as popular. It's hard to get the equipment, but this just looks super cool. I don't even know what gun that is, but it's neat, you know. Like, this is super cool, definitely well done. Again, I have no way of telling if this is FARB or not, but it looks super cool. I just wish that some of these more unique kits were tan. I feel like there's way more green kits than tan kits right now, which makes balancing and national level events kind of interesting to do, but this is absolutely sick. Looks like somebody's cat stepped on the keyboard, has their own loadout, and again, you know, another Russian kit, because I am a sucker, so I think you guys have started to figure out what I enjoy. The PKM's just cool. Sorry, like, maybe this is the PKM episode. This isn't the old school kit episode. But especially with the dedication to wearing the helmet, which, like, I would stand here in solidarity and put mine on as well to do this little bit for your kit, but it's a million degrees in my apartment right now and I would probably faint. This looks super cool. It's probably Farby, but I just think that it looks super neat. And then I do just also want to talk about the bolt action here. This is just chaos energy. I do hope that you're wearing full seal underneath the helmet, because that visor is not eye safe, and I can tell you that from personal experience. Give me 1 second. So, yeah, as you can see, I would not wear that without some full seal underneath, or else you are going to have a bad time. Maybe if it's a real one, it's a different story, but at least mine did not take the hit very well. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and as is tradition, I think it's only fair to show off one of my Airsoft loadouts to make sure that you guys have a chance to make fun of me as well. And I actually came a little underprepared to this one. I don't know which one I'm showing on screen right now, so hopefully it's a kit that you can all just absolutely roast me for in the comments. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to continue to watch the Roast My Kit series, you can click right up here for the playlist, or you can click over here for a video that the overlords at YouTube think that you'd like. But my name is Lane, and I'll see you all next time.